ancient Hellenic travelers compiled the first lists of the 7 wonders of the ancient world more than 2,000 years ago. Those wonders, with the exception of the Great Pyramid of Giza, no longer exist. Earthquakes, fires, and, in one case, an enraged mob destroyed them. Since then, numerous lists of wonders have been compiled. Today, we've compiled a list of our top 10 world wonders. 1. Parthenon. The Parthenon, perched atop the Acropolis, is one of the world's most iconic structures, and a trip to Athens would be incomplete without a visit to its temple. The Parthenon was built in 447 BC to replace an ancient temple that had been demolished by the Persians, and it was completed in 432 BC. The Parthenon was constructed to contain a colossal ivory, silver, and gold statue of Athena Parthenos. The statue was looted and carried to Constantinople by one of the Roman emperors sometime in the 5th century, where it was later destroyed. The Parthenon has served as a fortification, a church, a mosque, and a powder magazine during its long history. 2. Easter Island. The world-famous moai are monolithic statues that may be found on Easter Island, one of the world's most remote islands. The statues were largely carved by the island's Polynesian invaders between 1250 and 1500 AD. The moai were regarded as the personification of powerful live or former chiefs in addition to symbolizing deceased ancestors. The tallest moai, known as Paro, stood about 10 meters tall and weighed 75 tons. When Europeans first arrived on the island, the monuments were still intact, but most were destroyed during later clan wars. Approximately 50 moai have been re-erected on Easter Island or in museums throughout the world. 3. Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal, an enormous white marble mausoleum erected in Agra between 1631 and 1648 by order of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his favorite wife, is India's gem of Muslim art and one of the world's most recognized masterpieces. The Taj Mahal is located in the Agra district of Uttar Pradesh, on the right bank of the Yamuna River, amid a large Mughal garden that spans almost 17 hectares. It was created in honor of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan's wife Mumtaz Mahal, with work beginning in 1632 AD and ending in 1648 AD. With the mosque, guest house, and main gateway on the south, and the outer courtyard and its cloisters added later in 1653 AD. The existence of various historical and Quranic inscriptions in Arabic script has aided in determining the Taj Mahal's chronology. Masons, stonecutters, inlayers, carvers, painters, calligraphers, dome builders, and other artists were requisitioned from around the empire, as well as Central Asia and Iran, for its construction. The Taj Mahal's chief architect was Ustad Ahmed Lahori. The Taj Mahal is often regarded as the most significant architectural achievement in Indo-Islamic architecture. Its recognized architectural elegance is characterized by a rhythmic combination of solids and voids, concave and convex surfaces, and light shadow, arches and domes add to the visual appeal. The monument is showcased in continually shifting colors and moods thanks to the color combination of lush green scape reddish road and blue sky above it. It is distinguished by its relief work in marble and inlay with precious and semi-precious stones. The Taj Mahal's distinctiveness stems from some very extraordinary advances made by Shah Jahan's horticulturists and architects. The placement of the tomb at one end of the quadripartite garden rather than in the exact center, for example, offered great depth and perspective to the monument's distant view. It's also one of the most well-known instances of the elevated tomb style. The mausoleum is raised even higher on a square platform, with the 4 sides of the octagonal minaret bases extending beyond the square at the corners. A lateral flight of steps located in the center of the southern side leads to the platform's top. The Taj Mahal's ground design is in perfect compositional harmony, with the octagonal tomb chamber in the center, surrounded by gateway halls and 4 corner rooms. On the second story, the plan is repeated. The tomb's exterior has a square plan with chamfered corners. The massive double-story domed hall that holds Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan's cenotaphs is shaped like an octagon. The magnificent octagonal marble lattice screen that surrounds both cenotaphs is a work of art. It's beautifully polished and adorned with intricate inlay work. The frame's borders are inlaid with precious stones that represent flowers that have been meticulously crafted. The colors and tints of the stones used to create the sculpture. Mumtaz Mahal's cenotaph stands perfectly in the center of the tomb chamber, on a rectangular platform with inlaid flower plant designs. Shah Jahan's cenotaph is larger than Mumtaz Mahal's, and was built on the west side of the latter more than 30 years later. The genuine graves are in the lowest burial chamber, like in imperial Mughal tombs. The 4 freestanding minarets at the platform's corners brought a hitherto unseen dimension to Mughal design. The 4 minarets not only serve as a form of spatial reference for the monument, but also give it a 3-dimensional appearance. The main gate, which rises magnificently in the center of the southern wall of the forecourt, is the most impressive structure in the Taj Mahal complex, aside from the tomb. Double arcade galleries surround the gate on the north side. On the Timurid Persian concept of the walled-in garden, the garden in front of the galleries is split into 4 quarters by 2 main walkways, with each quarter subdivided by narrower cross-axial pathways. A pavilion is located in the center of the east and west enclosure walls. The Taj Mahal is a perfectly symmetrical planned architecture, with a strong emphasis on bilateral symmetry along a central axis where the principal features are located. The construction material is brick and lime mortar with red sandstone and marble veneers and precious, semi-precious stone inlay work. In contrast to the marble tomb in the center, the Taj Mahal complex's mosque and guest house are constructed of red sandstone. The front of both buildings has a huge platform that extends over the terrace. The guest house and the mosque are identical constructions. They have a vast oblong prayer hall with 3 vaulted bays in a row and a central prominent doorway. White marble is used to veneer the gateway arches, frames, and spandrels. The arches are surrounded with rope molding and the spandrels are filled with flowery arabesques of stone intarsia. Through perfect harmony and exceptional craftsmanship in a wide spectrum of Indo-Islamic sepulchral architecture, the Taj Mahal represents the best architectural and aesthetic achievement. It is a work of art in terms of architectural style, in terms of conception, treatment, and execution, with distinctive aesthetic features in terms of balance, symmetry, and the harmonious blending of numerous parts. 4. Colosseum. The Colosseum is the most famous and largest amphitheater ever constructed in the Roman Empire. Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty began building in 72 AD, and his son Titus completed it in 80 AD. 5,000 animals and 2,000 gladiators were slain during the inaugural rites of the Colosseum, which lasted 100 days. The Colosseum could accommodate 50,000 people and had 80 entrances. Spectators were shielded from the rain and the sun by a sail over the top of the attic called the Velarium. It has become an iconic symbol of imperial Rome and is one of Rome's most renowned tourist sites. 5. Angkor. Angkor Wat is a massive temple complex that houses the majestic ruins of 3 Khmer Empire capitals from the 9th to the 15th centuries AD. The world's biggest single religious edifice, Angkor Wat, and the Bayon Temple with its myriad of enormous stone faces are among them. Angkor has undergone various religious transformations during its long history, changing from Hinduism to Buddhism on several occasions. It has become a symbol of Cambodia, featuring on the country's flag and serving as the country's main tourist destination. 6. Teotihuacan. A new culture evolved in the Mexican Valley in the 2nd century BC. Teotihuacan, a bustling metropolis with massive step pyramids, was built by this culture. The Pyramid of the Sun is the largest building in Teotihuacan and one of the largest in Mesoamerica, standing 75 meters tall. The Lesser Pyramid of the Moon was completed around 450 AD. After a century of work, the Aztecs respected and employed the pyramid 7 centuries after the Teotihuacan Empire fell apart, and they became a pilgrimage site. 7. Petra. Petra, the famous rose-crimson city, half as old as time, was the Nabatean kingdom's ancient capital. Without a doubt, it is Jordan's most valuable gem and most visited tourist attraction. The Nabateans constructed a massive, unique metropolis into the side of the Wadi Musa Canyon centuries ago, turning it into an important junction for the silk and spice routes that connected China, India, and southern Arabia with Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Al-Khazne, carved out of a sandstone rock face, has the most spectacular facade in Petra, dwarfing all around it. 8. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu, one of the world's most beautiful and majestic ancient ruins, was rediscovered in 1911 by Hawaiian historian Hiram after years of hiding above the Urubamba Valley. The lost city of the Incas is fully self-contained and undetectable from below, surrounded by agricultural terraces and fed by natural springs. Although well known locally, it was mostly forgotten to the rest of the world until 1911, when it was rediscovered. Machu Picchu has now become Peru's most popular tourist destination. 9. Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China was erected, renovated, and maintained between the 5th and 16th centuries BC to secure the Chinese Empire's northern boundaries from the Xingnu tribes. The Great Wall has been referred to by many different names. The wall built by the first emperor of China between 220 and 206 BC is one of the most famous, yet only a small portion of it survives. The Ming dynasty constructed the majority of the extant wall. According to the most current archaeological investigation, the entire Great Wall, including all of its branches, runs for 8,851.8 kilometers. 10. Pyramids of Giza. The Giza necropolis, located in the southern suburbs of Cairo, is possibly the most well-known ancient site in the world. Khufu, his second reigning son Khafre, and Menkaure erected the pyramids of Giza over the course of 3 generations. The Great Pyramid of Khufu is the oldest and last of the ancient world's 7 wonders. Over 2 million stone blocks were utilized to build the pyramid over a 20-year period that ended around 2560 BC. The pyramid stands 139 meters tall, making it Egypt's largest pyramid. However, adjacent Khafre's pyramid appears to be greater due to its higher height. If you enjoy the video, please like and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.